Tonight, concerns over damage on a newly resurfaced highway and a new online tourism campaign aiming to draw in visitors over summer.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Despite millions of dollars spent on Goyder Highway upgrades, large potholes are already appearing along the road. It comes during a busy time for trucks on the highway, with the safety hazard forcing speed limits to be reduced.
A major bump in the road. This highway is burning rubber without the speed, and despite recent upgrades, it's starting to deteriorate.
Now, this is in around about $3.7 million, my estimation, and it was only done about 3-4 months ago.
Now there are desperate calls for it to be fixed, with police stretching their resources to stop motorists speeding.
The road itself is actually falling apart. The bitumen is melting as the trucks are going on top of it.
The RAA also disappointed with the Goyder Highway highlighted in its dangerous road survey.
We believe should be dealt with as soon as possible, and that was one of our key recommendations.
In a statement, the state government says it's working with a maintenance contractor to keep the road safe. Repair works will also be scheduled for the new year after grain carting season.
25 k's an hour in some areas. We've got a harvest going on, for goodness sake. We've got the harvest, they want to get that into the silos.
Motorists are being urged to adhere to the speed limit reductions on the highway while authorities scramble to fix the road.
Christmas is coming up. We're going to have caravans going through there. We've got the grain trucks. We've got the school buses also. So I'm very, very disappointed, very frustrated, quite frankly.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A major new advertising campaign is being rolled out across the region, showcasing Port Lincoln and Eyre Peninsula. Local tourism operators now hoping it will help attract travellers to the West Coast ahead of the Christmas holidays.
It's stunning images like these that show why Port Lincoln is renowned around the world. And now it's being showcased in a new campaign aimed at giving the region a major boost.
It's had some 27,000 views so far and some 363 shares. That is the record for us for anything that we've done on our Visit Port Lincoln page on Facebook, so we're thrilled with the response.
From the mesmerising views of Port Lincoln National Park in Coffin Bay to the oysters and wine tantalising your taste buds, the video showcasing what the region has to offer. There's some familiar faces with local operators starring in the video.
I think coming together collaboratively is the only way to move forward.
It was a fantastic effort by the community.
Renee says customers have been cancelling bookings following the fallout of the state lockdown. She hopes the advert will show that Port Lincoln is open for business.
Domestic intrastate market's probably quite good, but yeah, we've still got to gain ground, a lot more ground on that interstate market as well.
With school holidays kicking off this weekend, accommodation across the region is quickly booking out.
I would encourage people to still have a go at ringing and booking in. There'll always be cancellations, so don't give up. 2
more videos are expected to air in the coming weeks. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
More hospital restrictions have been eased in Broken Hill. From today, visiting hours have increased to 4 per day, with 1 bedside guest allowed. Far West Local Health says these restrictions will remain in place for the foreseeable future. Anybody feeling unwell should continue to avoid visiting the hospital. A disqualified drink driver will face court after he allegedly blew 0.072 in a breath test in the state's far north. Just after 7:30 on Monday evening, police found the vehicle was unregistered and the driver's licence was disqualified. The 29-year-old Marla man was reported for a number of offences and his car was impounded. Still to come tonight, the first Spencer Gulf City switches onto 5G internet and Christmas donations given to a local mental health service. Welcome back. Port Lincoln residents have become the first in the Spencer Gulf to have access to Telstra 5G, with operators turning on the switch today. The new technology is set to be a game changer with faster download and upload speeds.
The next generation in technology launching in Port Lincoln.
It's really exciting what's happening in the construction work and the upgrade work to our mobile network in South Australia.
Today, Port Lincoln became the first Spencer Gulf city to connect to the 5G network. With the pandemic pushing more of us to work online from home, staff say connectivity has never been so important.
Data on our mobile networks is actually growing by 40% every year, but with COVID-19, in certain situations, particularly in lockdown, we see increases of 70% overnight.
Telstra says the possibilities are endless and will help further future-proof businesses. Despite some community anxiety around the connection, experts say it's completely safe.
Of course it's safe. The World Health Organisation are the independent arbitrators on EME, which is the radiation that people talk about, and it's well below the safety limits.
The rollout is set to continue tomorrow with Port Augusta to be switched on to the 5G network. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Whyala's University of Adelaide Rural Clinical School has made a Christmas donation, giving back to the city's Headspace organisation. The money going towards hampers for those in need of some extra support this time of year.
A box filled with Christmas goodies, all made possible from a special donation.
Headspace, like mental health, is a lot to some of the staff here, and thought that would be really beneficial to be able to support.
This rural clinical school donating money to the organisation, all part of sharing the Christmas spirit.
We got a phone call from Pam to say that they had nominated us to be the recipients of the donation money. I'm super excited and super grateful.
Headspace giving out 20 Christmas hampers made up of personal self-care items, activity packs and a variety of food.
Particularly for those young people that are living independently or might be living away from their family and friends at the moment. These hampers are going to give them something to do, keep them busy and hopefully help them learn some self-care skills too.
And it's not the only festive activity this rural clinic has been involved in, also adorning their office window with Christmas decorations as part of the council's Window Wonderland initiative.
Very exciting to drive up. I had to wait for night time the other day on Friday to have a look at it at night time, but yeah, it's exciting.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
It hasn't been easy, but 2020 had a silver lining for the Silver City, with tourists flocking in. Our reporter Lachlan Itter sat down with Broken Hill Mayor Daria Turley to look back at the year.
Well, 2020 has been an unforgettable year, including here in Broken Hill. I've got Mayor Daria Turley with me. Thank you very much for your time. How do you think the community's adapted to the challenges of 2020?
Well, I think it's been a very tough year for everyone, and I look at what Broken Hill, how it adapted, and I'm very proud of what happened, from the small businesses that were impacted straight away to families being cut off from the borders, not being able to visit their family in South Australia or to Victoria and even Queensland. You know, my hat's off to everybody in my community.
Do you think Broken Hill's been hit harder than other towns because of the border closures, our connection with South Australia, but also because we're a town that relies so heavily on tourism?
I think for the community, the fact that South Australia is our connection, it is, you know, we don't look at Sydney as the capital, we would, and don't tell our Premier this, we would look at Adelaide, and, you know, it was a really tough time. Families hadn't seen their children for 8 months, you know, it was really hard, but then all of a sudden, people who would travel overseas wanted to go to Broken Hill because it was on their bucket list. So we were in a boom time, and although we closed for such a long period of time, the tourism boom that we're going through at the moment is making up for it. You know, gotta love that.
One of the first things you said to me was that there is a silver lining to this. What have been some of the highlights of 2020 for you?
Well, I think going back, this council has created our New Year's Eve party, and it's for families. It's not alcohol, it's alcohol free. It finishes at 9:15. It's about family celebrations. So in the time, I'd just come back from my son and at Bateman's Bay with all the bushfires, and we were talking about, do we have it, don't we? So that was a good start. I think our tourism campaign will take us through for the next 2 years. This is what's going to really capitalise on attracting people to Broken Hill. There is no doubt, I think the community spirit is one of the highlights for me, the way that people rallied to help each other, people that lost their jobs were given great support. And there is an old saying in Broken Hill, united we stand, divided we fall, and certainly united we stood in the pandemic.
Can you give us a bit of a sneak peek of some of the things we might have in the pipeline for next year?
Well, it is towards the end of the year, so I should add one more thing. My Monopoly man, Broken Hill, one of the highlights also was Broken Hill made it onto the Monopoly board. But in next year, we've got so many exciting things. We'll see our kids get a new skate park after all these years. And we also will see the opening up of the new park play area for our toddlers section at Sturt Park. We this year acquired a loan to match funding for other projects, so it gives us that leverage. So watch out for all the big announcements. I'm not saying a word of what they could be, but you have to watch this place.
Well, Mayor, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you and your family the very happiest of Christmases. I'm sure it's a well-deserved break for you.
And a Merry Christmas to all the viewers of 7 Spencer Golf, and I hope it's a happy new year for everyone.
Stay with us after the break, pounding the pavement for Port Augusta's Park Run, and Whyalla Dance School warming up for an annual concert. Hello again. Port Augusta's Park Run has returned after it was disrupted due to COVID-19. After plenty of delays, organisers say they were pleased to relaunch the event and welcome back keen runners.
Back up and running following the COVID-19 shutdown.
Well, we had the relaunch of Port Augusta Park Run, which was the first time after COVID had hit that we were able to meet and go again. So it's the first park run here since March.
Despite unexpected rain, volunteers say they were pleasantly surprised with the turnout.
Bigger turnout than I was expecting based on the weather, but it's great to see some familiar faces again and start to rebuild our community.
In its second year in the city, participants say they love the event for its inclusivity.
You don't have to just be super speedy or anything, you can walk it, you can run it, you can jog it, and you can do it as a family and everything.
What I love about Port Augusta Park Run is we do have a whole range of people. Some park runs I've been to, it tends to be the really young, fit people, whereas our park run we have people of all ages and all abilities.
Organisers say they're pleased with adherence to COVID rules, encouraging residents to join in the next one.
Yeah, come out, have a go. You don't need to be a great runner. You just need good attitude and willingness to do the 5Ks.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The Lighthouse Youth Project crew are making a long-awaited return to Port Pirie, hosting a BMX event Friday night. The group works to empower young people and is encouraging locals to join in.
Riding towards a bright future, the Lighthouse Project is returning to the Mid-North with flying colours.
Myself and our whole crew are going to be up at the Port Pirie skate park on Friday evening from around 4 o'clock. And that's going to be a Get Stoked event.
More than just a community morale boost, they're eager to get bums on bikes.
We're going to have bikes for people to borrow, helmets, music, a whole bunch of mentors are going to be there to help people if they have ridden before, if they haven't, just get into it and just enjoy the local facilities that they've got.
The group works to help empower youth, and organisers say the event will finish off a tough year for many.
Really tough year, and especially on younger people, it's been so many things cancelled and formals cancelled and school sports cancelled, and it's just like, let's just try to put that behind us and have a really awesome night.
Despite some restrictions easing, COVID-19 check-ins will still be required.
And we will be running a COVID-safe event. So people will be asked to sign in with the COVID-safe app when they get there, and that's purely for their own safety.
Those interested can find more information on the Lighthouse Project's Facebook page. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Local dancers at Whyalla's Ballet School are twirling into action, running final dance rehearsals this week for their end-of-year concert. With classes greatly impacted by COVID-19 restrictions earlier this year, the school is excited to finish on a high note.
These dancers ready to level up. This local teacher getting creative this year after COVID-19 impacted most dance classes.
Dance this year in 2020 has definitely come with its challenges. We've unfortunately had to cancel most of our usual events, such as exams and community performances.
The school also having to turn to the virtual world during the height of the pandemic.
The children and students have been so brilliantly adaptable and resilient. We've spent about 12 weeks via Zoom, which is obviously learning through a complete different avenue.
But these dancers have powered through, putting together a showcase they're all proud of.
The opportunity to still perform at the Middleback Arts Centre in front of their family, friends and our local community, it is absolutely the cherry on top of a difficult year.
3 dance concerts will run at the Middleback Arts Centre starting this Friday night.
I'm really excited for our show. We've all worked really hard for it.
Tickets are available through the Middleback. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Lachlan Itter will have all the latest fuel prices and Alex will join us with the weather details. Welcome back. Let's see how the Bowsers are looking around the region. Here's Lachlan Itter with this week's Fuel Watch.
Holidays are so close you can almost hear the car karaoke from the back seat, and there's plenty to sing about. For the most part, apart from a few slight variations, fuel prices are unchanged from last week. Starting, as always, with unleaded, and sorry Port Lincoln and Port Pirie, the only towns to see a jump this week, up just a couple of cents to $1.20 a litre in Port Lincoln. Port Pirie's increase is almost negligible, up to $1.18. Adelaide has seen the only drop, all the way down to $1.03, so you save about 7 cents a litre if you can top up the tank there. Maybe use the spare change for some road trip snacks. Whyalla and Port Augusta around the $1.20 mark, $1.18 for Kadina, and Broken Hill remains the most expensive place to fill up, once again at $1.24. There is some good news for the Silver City when we look at diesel though, dropping down a couple of cents to $1.26 a litre. Whyalla, Port Augusta, Port Pirie and Adelaide have all seen minor jumps, some less than a cent, but nothing to really get alarm bells ringing. Port Lincoln, Port Pirie and Whyalla all coming in around $1.16 a litre, slightly more in Port Augusta with $1.17, and once again Adelaide's the place to fill up, $1.10 there. Finally to auto gas, where we've gone a week without any price changes. Port Pirie and Broken Hill are the cheapest, just shy of 84 cents, but Port Augusta and Kadina are still under the 90 cent mark. Port Lincoln 93 cents and Whyalla just under $1. If you're heading into the city, wait to fill up there if you can. It's just 67.7 cents a litre in Adelaide. Remember that these prices are the regional averages and do not reflect any one particular outlet. But if you do spot unleaded, diesel or auto gas for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page. If you are hitting the road this Christmas, enjoying the chance to catch up with family and friends, please remember to be patient and drive safely.
Time to take a look now at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex.
Thanks, Ruby. Sunny across the region today from 3 p.m. Port Augusta reached 32, Broken Hill 28 and Woodna 33. Whyalla 29, Port Lincoln was a high of 22, Port Pirie 30 degrees, Kadina and Cleve both 28, Clare 26, Cooper Pedy a max of 32 and Adelaide reached 23. To the satellite image now, thick cloud moving over far northwestern SA in a trough is causing light rain to develop, becoming heavier on Thursday, with the remnants of a tropical low. High cloud in the east ahead of the trough is not causing any rain, clearer in the south under high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Variable winds below 10 knots, seas below 1 metre and south to southwesterly swell 1 to 1.5 metres. Partly cloudy in Port Lincoln and Cleve 21 and 22, Woodna mostly sunny 28, Whyalla and Kadina mostly sunny both 27 degrees, Port Augusta sunny 29. Port Pirie set to reach 30, 25 to be the top in Clare, and 31 in Broken Hill. Taking a look further through the week now, mainly fine conditions on Friday. Cooper Pedy with the region's top 35, Port Augusta, Woodner and Port Pirie all sunny and 31, Adelaide 30. Those mainly fine conditions continuing on Saturday, but windy in Broken Hill 28 degrees, Port Lincoln sunny also 28, Port Augusta and Woodner both set to have the region's top of 36, 34 in Port Pirie, Kadina and Cooper Pedy. And partly cloudy conditions on Sunday, except for in Port Lincoln, sunny and 30, 35 degrees in Cooper Pedy, Whyalla, Kadina and Port Pirie. So it's certainly looking to be a lovely weekend of weather, Ruby, and that's all from me tonight. It's back to you.
Great, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.